So, you son are the defendant, Walkie, are you? I ain't your son, old man. You step to Kentucky, you best be prepared, You best be prepared to step strong. You step to a public official, you best be prepared. Oh my God, help me, God. You step to a, God damn it. I'm so fucking, what happened, God? You step to a public official, you best be prepared to step into jail. You gotta hand it to him, Walkie sure his guts. It's not his guts I'm worried about. Well then, the court will now hear testimony on the defendant's motive from the defendant himself. Oh, to be young. Walkie Kentucky's truth. I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was in his clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my op something bad. And then he just lets me go without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go get another dog to patch me up again. That was the day I done figured it out. No OG's gonna let that pass. That's why I went to his pad that night. Know what I'm saying? His pad? In the park? Wait, does he live in the park? You're saying you were the one... Wait, you're saying you were one of the victim's patients? A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real on the street. True that. I tell you one thing, that doc was whack. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. I can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about all this. It's fine. You'll be fine, Apolly. Okay, I'm not gonna read this. I'll tell you one thing, the doctor was a quacker, someone to show him what's what. I was in his clinic about a half a year ago. He messed up my op something bad. Am I just pressing for information about his op? So you were a patient at the Miraculous Clinic half a year ago? For what reason? I had what you might call a mark of honor. What was his voice? I completely forgot his voice. Shit. Okay, I have to put it in my head. Baby Italian, baby mafia. Baby mafia. Forget about it. I had what you call mark of honor. Oh, whatever. Just bear with me. Can you oh my God, there's so much different voices. Help. I think, okay. I've been like taking like small breaks here and there because I'm dealing with stuff in real life, but like, okay, no breaks. I'm just gonna fucking focus on this so I can remember the voices. Tongue. Can you explain it precisely what was wrong? I'll get you, Clavia. Baby Mafia. We had a little run-in with the rivals family, whatever. That's when I pulled a jack move. The jack move of getting shot, I guess. And ran into an ambush. G busted a cab right in me. According to my sources. Tongue, baby. According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting. And ran in 15 minutes before the appointed time by yourself. Oh my God, it's so hard to do it, these two back to back. Oh my God, Jesus. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys. So you were carried to the Miraculous Clinic from there. Apparently he was shot in the heart. And you're to blame, you give love a bad name. I don't even know who sings that song. Shot in the heart and he's still alive? I can catch bullets between my teeth, but I never learned how to catch them with my heart. The bullet stopped just short of my thumper, you know what I'm saying? I would have been golden if it weren't for that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet. So, as you say, the surgery was a failure. That ain't all of it, Holmes. Holmes. Then he just lets me go without a word. See you later, bye. Alright. Well, what do you mean he just let you go without a word? Didn't even stitch him back up. What do you think it means? It's whack, that's what. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds bad. It sounds as though Herr Doctor wished to hide his mistakes, and that is why he let the defendant go. He's a liar, straight up. He's a badder G than me. Mad props to him. I gotta get another knock to pack me up again. So, this bullet is still... You know it! I can still feel it! Right there in my chest, pressing up against my heart. Your words are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. Incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles. Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice. Work J, man. We're no accident, that's for shizzle. Remember when kids used to say faux shizzle my nizzle? Just kidding, I don't think any kids ever said that. I think they said it as a joke. Was that something Snoop Dogg said? Faux shizzle my nizzle? I don't know. Sorry, Snoop Dogg, if you did. I'm sure you're watching this because you love Apollo Justice. It seems that there were issues with this doctor. Man, putting him down was like doing the world a favor. Wacky, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that. Chin up, Apollo. Back straight. Oh, thanks, Trucy. I have to strain my back. But why did this mistake only come to light that day? It was found during the family health checkup. Oh my god. The family checkup? That was the wackest thing of all. All us G's lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better to die young than to fade away, boy. A relief to hear. What's a relief? Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry so close to your heart, if not attended to immediately, it could kill you. What? Yes, Air Doctor Miraculous had knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that could have saved your life. No way! That's whacked! There is proof. Your checkup report. What, did like Miraculous go into like medical training in order to like beef up his skills so that he can have the ability to take out a bullet in the heart? Otherwise he would have just done it in the beginning. I mean, I guess training does help, whatever. How ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. You're almost as careless as he was. Ha 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 ha. Well, now that place is hopping, let's get this gig started. So started? We've had enough of a warm-up act, yeah? Time, ja? Do German people pronounce ja? Oh, whatever. Time to hear from the witness. Wacky sure is quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy? I mean, you're just letting him run the court. But then again, this court always does favor the prosecutor, so whatever. I mean, who can blame them, right? Look at this sexy, smexy boy with his G and his big-ass chain. I wouldn't want that on myself, but I mean, hey, he makes it look good. So, you will tell us your name and occupation. Oh my god, there's so much men. Oh my god, what voice? What voice? How much voice could I possibly give you, Rockley? Shit. My name is Wesley Stickler. I've got nothing. By occupation, I take it you put the profit society at large supports a livelihood, under which definition I must confess to being unemployed. However, we must acknowledge the meaning of identity, which is commonly attached to this notion of occupation, and once we have accepted this reality, we see that our confusion is not Gestalt per se, but derives instead from the vagueness inherent in all representations of the... You see, it caught me off guard at first because I forgot that's how he talked, but like once I figured it out, I got this. I'm perfect for this. I can do his part. I can speak all of his words. By which he means to say that he is a student. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken. I already forgot his voice. Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend my days in pursuit of truth, honing my... Stickler. Please direct that curiosity to the case at hand today. They both sound the same. Whatever. You guys see who's talking? You guys can see it on the screen. Maybe don't look away during this trial, because if you look away and you hear me talking, you're just gonna assume it's only one person saying everything until you get to the judge. Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime. Well, you ask quite simplistically what I saw. However, we must understand that Homo sapiens possess two eyes, each of these designed to receive and interpret data, sending images in form of signals to the... Doing all these voices are making me sweat. A night in the park. That night, I passed through the park on my way home from shopping, when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. I want this lantern, actually, now that I think about it. I wish I could have that. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot. The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front square in the forehead. I don't know why I'm trying to give him an accent. He doesn't have to have an accent. He's not from Europe, I don't think. Was there anyone else in the park at the time? I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not. But then again, I guess you can't expect a character like him to be quote-unquote American with his pinky up and his like sophisticated stance. The pistol our witness refers to is this. The court accepts this into evidence. Pistol added to the court record. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy? Why are you staring like that at the witness? That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before. Ooh, a night in the park. That night I passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. Let's just press some stuff. On the way home from shopping, you say? Why go to the park? Ah, a fascinating inquiry, revealing me capable of being insufficiently verbose. Let us consider the time saved by passing through the park on the way home from the store. In that time, I am capable of solving 2 GMAT problem sets. On average, it requires me 3 minutes 24 seconds to complete one such set. Ergo, the time to complete 2 is on average 6 minutes and whatever. However, in the case that the questions are in the verbal category, admitted, not my... What? That's enough. Enough, I get the idea. Mr. Justice, the court hopes to finish cross-examination sometime this month. Please, I have a recording booked after this trial. And I've got a show to perform. Gee, sorry you're all so busy. Okay, I think alright, I won't press everything then. I think in his hand, he has a pistol. I'll press it, but I think I'm supposed to present the knife to him here. Are you sure the pistol you saw is the same as the one submitted as evidence? Am I sure? Surely you jest. Or so a common witness would be tempted to say. Huh? Yet I am no common witness. I see not only events as they are, but the logical structure governing these events. First, we must consider the fact that it was night in the park, which indeed restricted my field of vision due to insufficient levels of illumination. Now, if we consider that the pistol, let us call it Object A, was indeed struck in the darkness, it becomes difficult to say with certainty that Object A was indeed Object A. Doing his stuff is making my throat even more tired faster, so that's gonna pose a problem. I think he means he couldn't see that clearly. Might batch for a normal witness. Yet the fact that a pistol was fired before my eyes is indisputable. I can still see it when I close my eyes. The defendant raised his weapon. Okay, a shot. The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front square in the forehead. Oh wait, is this the... Maybe this is the contradiction? Because the autopsy reports just say that he got shot in the temple, right? Yeah, let's check that. Pal Maractus, age 46 male, estimated time of death June 14. Between 10:15 and 10:45. Damage to the brain resulting from bullet wound. Entry point right temple. Also, yes, his name is a joke on malpractice. Malpractice itself is not a joke. Please don't do that shit if you're a doctor, because you risk losing your license and all that shit, and that's not good. And you risk killing somebody. But in this game, it's a joke. Objection. Phew. If that's all of it, I think I have a chance. Apollo, you objected once. What the fuck? You know what? This is only a second trial. He hasn't quite familiarized himself with how the proceeding goes. Is that you? Relaxing, I see, El Justice. Huh? Oh, objection!
Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice.
Apollo, pace yourself. This is not over yet. That's not what? Whatever. Eric, right. Oh, look at this.
The autopsy report? Is there a problem with the autopsy report?
Right. A problem. Yes! The problem is the location of the entry wound.
The location?
You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not? I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It is quite simple, really. First, understand that when I say square, I speak not of the geometrical absolute. What do I mean by this? For example, the deflection of the meter is 1 million something, the wavelength of a light emitted by the krypton particle, as we all know. In addition, it is a well-known fact that the krypton particles are rare and visible to the naked eye, which points to a basic fallacy in your line of reasoning, namely that what...
Mr. Justice?
Yes?
Was your objection to these, krypton particle things?
Yes, it's specifically that. This is the big time and you are obsessed with something so small. You disappoint me. No, I'm obsessed with something big. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here.
Do tell.
Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple. Temple? Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction. Isn't it? Aw. He's have more confidence in yourself, buddy. Is it? Is it right? It is, right? Finally! Objection! There, Justin. Oh. No, I can't do that. Air Justice. Oh, Air Justice. Yes? Your tactics are outdated. Trying to shake the weakness by objecting to truffles. Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago. Phoenix Wright, was it? You talking shit about my daddy? First of all, look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to his testimony. A air forehead. The forehead? The fucking nerve. Let us imagine you are walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do, air forehead? Well, I guess I would try to stop them. I'd probably shout, "Stop!" On you, Fraulein. Me? Well, I'd probably scream, "Eek!" And you, Herr Stickler, what did you shout, I wonder? Ack! If the victim turned his head at the last moment. Oh. Ah yes, thank you for jogging my memory. I'm tired. I'm so tired. There's so much people. Why is this? Why am I so tired?
It sounds like an addendum to the testimony as required.
A Night in the Park 2. Alright, let me drink some water then. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Okay, this is training. This is training for me. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. "Cease this at once, you two," I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and I shot right out. I should have kept it his voice. Whereupon our cowardly killer defendant appeared to have been frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. Oh my gosh. Whatever, Stickler's not worth keeping a good voice. He's a doo-doo head.
I see, so you attempted to stop the crime.
Indeed, with composure. Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if you hadn't shouted like that. Well, that doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram if you would. Oh my god. The witness, Mr. Stickler was it, stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop please," or something of this nature, and the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet wound would have struck the right temple as in the report.
That does seem to be the case.
Witness the power of a junior in Witness the power of a junior in Ivy University's Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness.
What am I trying to prove with this one? As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. "Cease this at once, you two," I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice and a shot rang out. Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned?
Indeed, I would say about the same time to be precise.
And the victim didn't ask you for help?
It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step.
I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him. Don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please. The cowardly killer defendant appeared to become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. Is it this one, maybe? You didn't try to apprehend the criminal? Well, it all happened so fast. I'm afraid I hadn't had the time. Doesn't something about that strike you as odd, Apollo? What? The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired a pistol and tossed it right away? According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes. In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find. Find something? Find what? I like that contradiction. Kinda sad to see it go. Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now? At least the testimony is getting a little clearer. She's right. Maybe I could find something to use in this new testimony.
My throat is so tired. Okay.
So what do I'm not pressing the gun, right? Weapon left at the crime scene. 2 rounds were fired. Fingerprints were wiped. Is it this? Is it the fact that the fingerprints were wiped? Wait a second. Just another misleading request. Yeah, you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you. Come again? Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to wait just that? A single second? 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes, 35 seconds,
Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor.
Am I to understand that you are objected to the length of a second?
Yes. I mean, no. Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
Common play made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints.
Whoa! You've been bested by a little girl, boy!
Ah, the little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there. I'm not little.
Ah ha ha ha. Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fraulein?
Eh?
What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves?
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo, despite the fact that I'm wearing gloves.
Well, Mr. Justice?
Could the killer have been wearing gloves?
Nope. I mean, he could have, but I mean, we supposedly have evidence that indicates that he doesn't. But
the record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing: the fingerprints were wiped, which means some traces of prints remain, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol.
That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
I'm like constantly mentally preparing myself that he's gonna go on a tirade, like a tirade? Not a tirade. He's gonna just keep talking, and I have to mentally prepare myself to be able to speak fast when he speaks, but like a lot of times he doesn't, so it's like I'm bracing myself for nothing.
That sounds solid to me. Well, Elf Forehead, any of your precious objections?
Wait, I do, you dumbass. What the hell are you doing, Apollo? What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said?
Huh? Isn't what obvious? Oh my god, Apollo. Why is Trucy smarter than you? Trucy, you become the lawyer.
When he restated what he saw just now, he said that Walkie dropped a murderous weapon. I was about to say numerous. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Walkie threw away.
What? Oh, why did her mouth move when he said that? You're right.
He's just confused because the pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong.
Oh, well, he's not perfect at all, but...
Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended.
Well, it is indeed true that once in my youth I wrote a love letter that was seized by the teacher and posted on a blackboard for her to see the pen forward. What? Oh, shit. I got caught on a word.
What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else.
At least one person of the defense team seems to be thinking.
I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin.
Don't do it, he's so pretty with it. Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene?
We know, you guys are all idiots. Think for yourselves.
Is that a sword?
Yes. Yes, it's a sword.
I saw one of those in the late movies last night.
Great, a sleep-deprived judge. What? This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints?
This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves, which can be argued that because the knife belongs to Walkie, he could have at any moment been holding the knife with his bare hands. That doesn't necessarily mean that he was not gloved during the time of the murder, right? But I guess your prints would smudge if you were wearing gloves. I don't fucking know, whatever. Never mind. Forget it.
Indeed.
Oh, Elf Forehead. You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Huh? One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant Walkie Kataki. And two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim.
Oh!
Indeed.
Never underestimate a Gavin is the lesson here.
This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear more about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
He also keeps turning the pages in a book that has no words in it. The hell is he reading?
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up with him, assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light? Assuming. Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if there were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better.
What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired. The judge is losing shit. I'm so tired. Oh my god. I'm pushing myself too hard from shot to call.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Why didn't you just chase the killer?
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered?
You know what, he kind of looks like James Charles. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that his like long eyelashes, his like sticking out eyelashes, and his like chin, it's just kind of... whatever, forget it, I didn't say that. Never mind.
Of course, I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that. Did the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also now know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not?
Does it not, Mr. Justice?
I better find a way to take this testimony down quick.
Actually, wait, I think someone else had made that comparison. I think I remember seeing a tweet or something of someone making that comparison. Okay, can I prevent the killer from leaving the scene, or could I simply leave the scene in good conscience, or go I use my cell phone to... Cell phone? He mentioned cell phone. I guess that would get your brain rolling to thinking that the cell phone we have in our evidence might belong to him, maybe?
Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect seagull or whatever, a proof in 3 parts. Exquisite, simply exquisite.
What is that word? Syllogism? 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 Whatever.
He actually looks like he's going to cry.
Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could have happened at any moment. Anyone could have appeared from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think that there would be a few people around in the park.
So we just stood there, watching?
Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you got something to say, by all means say it. This witness is way too self-assured. There's gotta be a weakness somewhere in his testimony. Is there evidence to indicate when... What am I supposed to do here? I know that... Is he trying to say... what's the answer here? No. Check? Oh, I don't need to check it. Cell phone. So what about it doesn't say the time that Wright got hit by a car, so I don't know if that's supposed to be... I don't know what to do here. What is the answer? Do I have to press everything? Is this one of those things where I have to press everything? Hold up. Here, let me just press everything. I don't know the answer to this. Which way did the killer run?
By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction.
And that would mean he ran in the opposite direction of the Kentucky mansion.
Ach, Tom. Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight.
Yeah, how did he know that that's where I was going? Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience.
You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed the killing. If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be moved by a chemical discovery that once dropped one's flask upon the lab room floor. Oh, cool answer. Very cool.
So nothing strange about how he acted. Juicy looks like she has something to say. I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Okay, so I wasn't supposed to present anything. Alright. Had enough at last, forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit? Sure, why not? There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony. There are any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol I showed you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No. Ugh. It seems we've come to the end of the line here. No, that can't be all. How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Well, you forehead. So what does that mean about your fucking brother, you piece of shit? No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Gavin. I didn't mean to call you a piece of shit. you were attacking my son, so I got defensive. I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, walkie-talkie. Hold it. Eek! What's happening? Oh, shit! What's happening? We're in trouble here. Trucy! Nobody move. What's the meaning of this? Who are you? There'll be no verdicts in this court, not yet. Wait, are you one of the Kitakis? The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow to the pressure from the likes of... Judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you you'll regret it. There she go. Well, wait! How did he disappear so fast?
Come to the defendant lobby up high.
How did she say that? I don't know. Maybe she has a walkie-talkie on us. I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch the mysterious man. Don't let him harm that little girl. What's gonna happen to Trucy? Oh no. Save? Yeah, sure, I'll save. God forbid Trucy dies if I pick the wrong answer or something. June 16th, 11:17. Defendant lobby number 2. Trucy! Trucy! You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show. Look, she's fine. Trucy! You're okay! I'm fine! Don't cry, Apollo! Those good-for-nothing gangsters! There are some things you just don't do! I'm pressing charges! Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else... Shashing! Yeah! Ah! What the heck is that? Surprised? This is one of my best tricks, the amazing Mr. Hat. I think my voice is giving out. You look marvelous, darling. He's a big hit on the stage at the Wonder Bar. Yes, I'm a big hit. Ha ha ha. Well, what do you think? Do you like it? You mean you... Trucy, there are some things you just don't do! I'm pressing charges! Apollo, now's not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Waki's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do? Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more stage abductions, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got. You can see what he's feeling? What are these feelings? Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times. All the times there was a contradiction? I remember. Well, I think I remember them, sure. There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. And each time, there was a contradiction. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. He said the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit.
In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand.
Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense, and he fiddled with the corners of the page in his book.
How am I supposed to see that?
Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker?
What?
Oh, Phoenix, you brought a fucking child to your poker games. I don't think... Oh, whatever. Let's have the bar let that happen. I always sat next to Daddy during the big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling.
You mean that's how Mr. Ray won all those games?
It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything.
But you were helping him, so it's like, doesn't that count as cheating?
And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all. But not good enough to go undefeated that long.
Great, so he cheated. But what does that do for us?
I don't believe this. You have to listen to this testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth.
Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth?
The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose.
Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo.
Mr. Wright said that? Again, and I brought this up last time too. Why does Wright know that? Apollo doesn't even know it. How does Wright know it? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious?
Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo.
What was that she said before the trial started? Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine, as long as you're there, Trucy.
Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it.
Apollo!
You know, I'm starting to think I could do this.
I knew you could do it all along. Oh, and one more thing. Try to cover Mr. Hat as best as you can.
I just flew in from the coast and boy, my arm's tied. Alright.